Welcome everyone to another episode of Tutorial Tuesday. It is week number 10, 2019, and I'm glad that you're along with us. I have a couple of announcements relating to the photography challenge in February, and then we'll be getting right into those questions, and we have a ton on tap. The first announcement is this. The winner of February's first photography challenge is Tammy Whip. And I'm going to be posting her picture next. This was the backlight challenge, and she knocked it out of the ballpark. Congratulations, Tammy, and I look forward to doing the portfolio review with you. For February's backlight challenge, some of the feedback that I got was it was really hard to focus. Yes, indeed it is. These challenges are meant to push you out of that creative zone. In other words, taking you from, just pointing your camera and, and taking a picture to actually deliberately creating an image. And in these conditions where your subject is backlit and you're trying to maintain focus on your subject, your camera has a hard time focusing in the dark. Now, there's a couple tips that you can use to help this challenge, and that is, if somebody has a cell phone near and has a flashlight on their cell phone, shine that on the subject's face. Otherwise, just carry a flashlight with you as well. If you're using, say, studio strobes or something like that, you can use the modeling light, and that really helps as well. Now, on to announcement number 2, and that is March's photography challenge. I've already uploaded that to my blog, so go ahead and swipe over there, and you can read the rules about what March's photography challenge is going to be. So go ahead, head over there, and get in on March's challenge. Let's get right into those questions. Broken into short little pieces? Really? I had no idea. No, I like to call it bite-size. I try and keep my answers concise, and I also like to keep that little sticker thing in there as well. And Instagram, keeps it like 15 seconds. Of course, the alternative to this is actually just rolling with the video live, and I could do that, but I'd rather keep it concise like this, compile it at the end, and upload it to my YouTube channel. So thank you. The thing that I love most about it is actually the lifestyle. It's not a job as much as it is just part of who I am and part of my wife and I's lifestyle, since we're both self-employed, and that goes for really anybody that's self-employed. As far as photography goes, it will always be the relationships for me, telling the stories while we're out branding or just ranch life in general. But those relationships, that's the favorite part. This answer won't be as concise as the rest of my answers. Yes, I used to be a PPA member. I'm no longer a member. I haven't been a member for years. And that's a personal choice of mine. But I'll tell you this, in the very beginning, when I was looking to develop my own business and make a living at photography, I wanted to go where there were, a vast number of members that were also doing the same. And that was a PPA, and I learned the business side specifically from them. And what I mean by that is pricing, clients, and even shooting for that matter. But then it was time to branch out on my own and focus on my own business. And that's where I'm at today. Now, my opinion on being certified and being accredited, just in general, I think in the beginning it really helps your confidence as a photographer in knowing what you're doing. And I believe that there's value to that. Having said that, being accredited or being certified is not the only way to build your confidence in photography. In fact, over the last 10 plus years, I've just gone out and done it, and that's where I'm at today without a certification or that type of accreditation. The last thing that I'll say here is you have to do what works for you in business and in photography. If you find one path that helps you build your confidence and skills in photography, take that. If that means groups, go for it, but also focus on yourself. When is an agent worth it? When your business can support it, I suppose, when you feel like you have the clientele and, of course, the profits to send out to somebody else, to a third party, to get those people for you. In all fairness, I've never used an agent, nor have I ever gone out and looked for an agent at all. Being self-employed, there's some gratification that my wife and I definitely get in finding clients and also closing deals. I don't mind it at all. That's the short answer to this question. The long answer is this. If you're trying to recreate one of my wide-angle images, please know that the things that I do are with people that I trust. It's much easier just to show you. So I use a Black Rapid double harness right here. I have my 5D Mark IV and I have my 5D Mark III, and that's exactly the way I go out every time. Not specifically on my YouTube channel, but I do have a couple, I think 2 or 3 tutorials over on my blog. I'll go ahead and provide that link for you. You can go take a look at those. My take on the mirrorless camera systems is they're fabulous. Yes, I have had the opportunity to use them, and absolutely nothing wrong with them. The technology grows at such a rapid pace these days that you're going to see leaps and bounds, especially over the next 5 years. I would even go as far as to say that in the near future, what you're going to find is mirrorless cameras out on the market, replacing the DSLRs. I will personally upgrade my oldest camera with a mirrorless. Sure, the quick answer to this is make sure you're using a very narrow aperture, and what I mean by that is something like f/16 to f/22 to narrow that tiny little hole in your lens. Absolutely great small business question here. Yes, our global business is an LLC with a couple DBAs underneath that. Now, yeah, absolutely, limited liability. That's what that stands for. It means that you're limiting your liability to risk. So your business is taking on the risk and not you personally. Now, there are some deviations to that, but you're putting an LLC in place to protect yourself. This is a pretty deep question. Do we ever stop learning or ever stop growing? I hope not. In fact, the longer I'm at this, the more I feel like I don't know anything. And I think that's different in the beginning, where sometimes we feel like we know everything. I believe that the challenge is incumbent upon us as an artist, as a photographer, as a creative, to always learn something and to always challenge ourselves to expand our creativity and learn more. One of the most common questions that I get is, what light should I buy when I go out for the first time to get some? And then second to that is, what light do I use while I'm out on location and in studio? What I've done is surrounded myself with the equipment that I use on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what it is, approximately how much it costs and how I use it, and hopefully that'll give you some direction to go out and buy your first lights. Starting off, I use what's called a monolight, and this is made by Flashpoint, and it's called the Explorer 600. That 600 indicates watt seconds, or how powerful your light is. And just know that the more powerful your light is, the more you're going to pay for it. This one, brand new, retails at about $725, which is actually pretty inexpensive considering some of the other lights that are out there, and provides a great amount of power for me. There are 2 distinct advantages to this light for me. Number one is it's wireless. It has this battery back here, but there's no cords to trip over, and it's very easy to move around the lights. Number 2, it has what's called high-speed syncing. That allows me to shoot during a sunny day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and be able to overpower the sun. Those are 2 of the most distinct advantages that this light has for me. The next light that I carry in my bag all the time is what we consider a speed light. It's a Canon 580 EX2. For one person, this is plenty. I've used it many times with high school seniors, and I put it in what's called a softbox, just like this, and it creates a nice soft directional light on the senior's face. This, if you're going to buy this used, you can expect to pay anywhere from $75 to $100. And if you go visit my friends KEH.com, you'll probably find one that you can pick up right away, and then grab yourself a softbox and you'll be good to go. There are other budget-friendly options out there, one of them being the Alien Bees through Paul C. Buff, and they're about a third of the price of these guys. So I hope that helps you. For me, I'd be using my 16 to 35 behind the chute. You might want to consider using the 11 to 24 too. Try them out, see what you think, but 16 to 35 for me.